ask you this to begin with. How many of you have ever been in an automobile accident? There's just no way to be cool and calm and collected with your words until the police officer arrives. He is calm, he's cool, he's collected. And he usually gets around to the point where he wants you to describe in 25 words or less what happened. Tell me what happened. Now, I want to give you some actual statements that people have written on insurance claims forms to try to explain what happened in the wreck they were in. These are kind of, the first guy says, I thought my car window was down, but I found out it was up when I put my head through it. Nice choice of words. The pedestrian had no idea which direction to run, so I ran over him. Crazy stuff. We're not like that, are we, students? Really? I want to give you some actual excuses that have come across the desk of principals as to why they were absent from school, all right? And these are not misspelt. These are the actual way they can. The first one says, please accuse Michael from being absent on January 30th, 31st, and 32nd, and 33rd because he was ailing. Yeah, we know January only goes up to 32, don't we? Chris will not be in school because he had an acre in his side. Thing was huge. This is not normal, this English language of ours. Let me tell you another thing that we do that we misuse so much, the word love. I love your hair. I love my car. I love my wife. I had a lady one time tell me that she loved our landscaping. I love the Royals.
We're very pleased to have Randy Nelson speak here at the community college. I believe that his message resonates with young adults of all ages, high school, college, community college.
And I think Randy's presentation will definitely help people in the future, and we would definitely want him to come back.
They have a fourth word. And this word, without this fourth kind of love, all the other three are meaningless. The fourth word that the Greeks have is the word called agape. Agape. It is a love that just says this: I love you. Period. I love you, that's all. But I think one of the neatest things she ever did was when she was a senior. They have this dance where they called it Sadie Hawkins. The girls ask the boys once a year. And as a senior in high school, she picked a boy named Big Daddy. This was the name he had chosen for himself. Big Daddy was a freshman. He was in a wheelchair. Spent his whole life in a wheelchair. He was fun, great kid, loved life. You'd hear him in the halls at school. Make way, Big Daddy's coming through. Power in his wheelchair right through students. She asked Big Daddy to the Sadie Hawkins dance. And that night his parents brought him to the high school gym in their van that was equipped for his wheelchair. And she spent the whole night out on the dance floor with him. Big Daddy would be out whirling around in his wheelchair, and he'd be moonwalking it back and forth, and they'd just be spinning, and she would be all over the place dancing around him. And many, many times that night, she said, Big Daddy would shout out, "This is the best night of my life!" She was throwing a starfish back into the ocean. My challenge to you today is that you would be willing to stand up and use agape love as your lifestyle. That you would choose to use your words for the good of others and not as destructive weapons. That you would say, I am willing to make a difference in the class that I'm in, or in the circle of friends that I am, or in the school that I have been put in. To break through all the cheap barriers that get set up. My challenge today, because what's going to happen if we don't? What's going to happen if we don't use agape love in our lives? The suicide rate in our nation is going to climb among teenagers. It's going to continue to rise. Suicide is the third leading cause of death between 15 and 24-year-olds. Suicide is the number 2 cause of death among college students. 7% of high school students report that they have attempted or thought about attempting suicide. Every one of you today brought a weapon with you into this room. It's a weapon that can be very, very destructive. It's a weapon that can kill people. But it also can be very helpful. It can be encouraging. It can be used to uplift and bring life to people. I'm talking about our tongues, the way we use and choose to use our words. A careless word may kindle strife. A cruel word may wreck a life. A timely word may lessen stress. A loving word may heal and bless. President Kennedy said this: one person can make a difference, and every person should try. To either sit it out or dance. I hope you dance. If you didn't hear one thing I said today, I want you to hear this. Me, Randy Nelson, I love you. Thanks.